It's me again. I haven't made a video for a while, but I didn't really want to bore you. But as you may or may not be able to see, I am now actually back home. I arrived back home, I suppose it's about a week ago now, after spending about 9 days in hospital. Obviously, due to various factors, which I'll go into later, my rehabilitation was taking a bit longer. So I was still using the walker, and we hadn't started getting me up and down stairs yet. But the option was either I could stay another 3 days or so and learn the stairs, or I could come home. So they arranged an ambulance with a special team that could actually bring me upstairs to my bedroom, because that's where the bathroom is and everything like that. And I would stay here, and the physio, etc., would come to me and teach me to get up and down stairs. That way I get home, and there's less risk of infection, because obviously the longer you stay in the hospital, the more risk there is. So I took that option. Anyway, last Thursday, it did take them a bit of time, but the ambulance came to fetch me in the evening, and they got me upstairs and into bed using quite what looked like rather an unstable contraption, a chair type thing that they strap you in, and then 4 guys carry you up. And me being rather a large man, that was rather comical. It also was the day that it snowed in London, which was also rather interesting. And I wanted to make sure I didn't miss the fun, so the trip between the ambulance door and my door, I asked my wife to bring me a load of snow, and we had a very brief little snowball fight. So yeah, that was rather cool. Needless to say, since I've been here or been back, I seem to be getting stronger every day. I'm on lower doses of the pain medication, though still on the oxycodone, but am cutting down. The only drawback now is that I'm now no longer under the care of Guy's, but under the care of a different NHS trust, which is the Greenwich NHS Trust. And we need to get the physio here to bring me crutches and to kind of show me how to get about. And there's been a bit of a delay with that. And after, well, what I can only describe as a bit of nagging, we actually got a date, and I'm going to see the physio for the first time on this coming Wednesday, and he's going to come to me. So hopefully I might be able to get downstairs, because now for a week I've been stuck upstairs, essentially just having to walk around the landing and to the bathroom, and that's not really been much fun. But again, as I have said before, you know, this is the NHS, I'm not paying for it, they're doing the best they can, and we just have to accept it. Now, the normal stay for a person with a hip replacement is between 2 and 4 days. So, me being me, I obviously had to make a better job of it and stay longer. And why was that? Well, having been released and had a full report from the doctor, now I'm a bit more compos mentis, it was discovered that after the operation, for some reason, I developed what they call acute kidney injury, which in layman's terms is kidney failure. For whatever reason, my kidneys decided to shut down for about a 24-hour period, and I stopped producing urine. And obviously that is not a very good thing for the body, hence why I ended up in ICU for 3 days. However, I responded really quickly and really well to the treatment, which was varied and quite a lot, though they didn't get as far as dialysis. And they managed to get the kidneys back online, and from what it looks like, no permanent damage, though I will obviously be having follow-ups. Anyway, so obviously that set back my entire rehabilitation program, hence why it's taken longer. Now, on the surgery side, the surgeons are really pleased with how the operation went. The prosthesis and operation itself went well together. Everything seems to have fitted into place from the x-rays they took afterwards, which, by the way, were really uncomfortable. I mean, it's like they want you to put your foot up your arse when you've just had a hip replacement so they can get some fancy picture. And I don't understand how they can even reasonably think that you can do that, but there you are. Acrobatics in the x-ray room. But anyway, but from that, they're really happy with the way that's working out. The wound itself seems to be healing relatively well. I certainly don't have any infections or anything there. So on the actual operation side, everything went according to plan. And if I'm able to keep walking as I am actually now walking, though with the aid of a walker. I can move my leg and that sort of thing, and the pain is beginning to decrease. So obviously that's working well. So I would say that thus far the operation has been a success. I obviously have a follow-up with the surgeon probably in about 4 to 6 weeks from now, where he'll probably ask for another x-ray, so I must be prepared to stick my foot behind my ear again, but we'll, to assess that everything's going well, and then we may talk about the other hip. Now, because of what I went through with this hip, even though I did have that bit of a bad reaction, I think I would still go and say, yes, I'd like the other hip done. Purely because it's a case of I've started, so I'll finish. It's a bit pointless doing one hip and then not the other. So, yeah. The scar itself, I would say, is a bit bigger than I initially thought it might be. And maybe that's because they needed it bigger. I don't know. I'm quite a fat person. I don't know. Maybe my hip's big. But I'd say it's about 20 to 25 centimetres. And in an L shape almost, which was another thing I wasn't expecting. It doesn't look as neat as my shoulder scar did. But then again, it's in a different area. I mean, the shoulder scar is just down there. Whereas this has to be on the sort of bend here, so it probably wouldn't. But again, it's neat enough, it's clean enough, it seems to be doing well. And I've got the district nurse coming round just to change the dressing. She'll probably only come round once more, maybe next week. And then I'll be able to either change the dressing myself or hopefully even start leaving it off. So at the moment, I'm not allowed to wash it. It was all done with dissolving stitches and glue. To my surprise, so no staples or anything like that, which is to my pleasant surprise, because I would really hate to have stitches removed or staples. So yeah, that's all cool. The only issues that I've had since coming home are occasionally my leg seems to swell up, but then it goes down again, and when it is swollen it's very stiff and sore. I'm not sure what that is, but it doesn't seem to go red or anything like that. So if it's still doing it when I see the doctor, I'll mention it to him. I'm obviously still on, as I said, painkillers, and I'm still on injections that I give myself. They're only tiny little injections that I give myself every day to thin my blood, because obviously I'm not as mobile as one should be. They do advise that you wear elastic stockings for as long as possible, but I find them actually rather annoying, so I have actually removed them. But I think I'm mobile enough, and with that, I'm not likely to get blood clots. But if you're older and more bedridden, then yeah, I would keep them on. I'm still not able to function normally on a mental plane because of the painkillers. I find I have very limited concentration of perhaps about half an hour. As I cut down with it, I hope that to get better. I am doing about 2 or 3 hours work a day now, which is more than I was, say, 5 days ago. So, we'll carry on. But the main point is that I have made it through the operation. It was really painful and uncomfortable to begin with, but then what do you expect when someone gashes the side of your leg open and lobs off the top of your bone? It's gonna hurt. So yeah, and the hospital was relatively good at controlling the pain as quickly as they could. So to the hospital and the team, my hat's off to them. They did a brilliant job. You know, the aftercare at home is happening, though a little slower, but it's happening, so that's great. I will probably make another brief video, because this is quite a long one. I'll make another brief one perhaps after the physio's been, just to perhaps maybe even show you the exercises he tells me to do. We'll carry on there. I'm putting this on a YouTube channel, as you would know if you are watching this. You're watching on the YouTube channel, which I've called Opinionation, and I will be doing some other videos on other topics on there. So you know, this is not just for my hip. You can have a look at other stuff. I'll be doing things as varied as from as I'm quite interested in history. I'll be doing history, maybe some film reviews, maybe even a few little topical discussions, that sort of thing. So, you know, catch me there as well. If you have any questions about hip replacements or joint replacements or avascular necrosis, which is, as I've explained to you previously, what I have, feel free to ask in the comments or something, and I'll try and answer you either through a video or through some other medium. You know, basically that's it for now. I'm gonna sign off, and I do wish you all the very best, and have a great day. Bye everybody.